to Neon Trash, Cyberpunks, and Retro Nerds. Tommy the Hammer here, kicking it with Dale and Ben. So what's up, guys?
Yo. How you doing?
Friday night, per the usual, doing it again. As always, movie reviews. I can't wait. Tonight, Ben, what are we watching, my dude?
Alright, tonight we are watching a 2010 South Korean drama thriller called The Man from Nowhere. And it is about this special agent guy that has this connection to this girl who's his only friend, and he pretty much fights this drug trafficking ring, I think. And that's what I've gathered from it. And I believe it's supposed to kind of be in, that revenge South Korean genre type of deal.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I've never heard of this movie until Ben started talking about it. And once again, this is one of the movies that he keeps bringing back to the house, so I know we're going to be enjoying at least something about this movie. There's got to be something beneath the surface that's noteworthy. Dale, what about you? What do you know about The Man from Nowhere?
Same with me. I know nothing about The Man from Nowhere. I know how, or know where. But yeah, I believe this movie's going to be really good. I like a lot of other South Korean films. They always do it right, and they're really up and coming in the American scene lately.
Good.
So I can't wait to see this. I think it's going to be a great film.
Yeah, so you guys know how we roll on Neon Trash. Check out the trailer when we get back. You're going to have our opinion on The Man from Nowhere.
아니 종교 인사도 아니고 락 걸어놓은 민간인 내 평생 처음 본다.
너도 내가 나쁜 사람처럼 보이니?
몰라. 감옥이 잘 어울릴 것 같긴 해요.
찾을 사람이 있어. 솜이 어딨냐?
아저씨.
송이를 찾아도 너희 둘은 죽는다.
We just got done watching the movie The Man from Nowhere, and I feel like this is a very refined action film with multiple layers. There's a lot going on. And I don't know, like about halfway through this movie, I felt like there was almost too much going on. For me, there was a slight disconnect, and I really can't put my finger onto as why. And, maybe that has something to do with the overall, story or the actors, or maybe, these particular actors in South Korea are, prolific amongst their own audiences. Maybe that has something to do with it, but for me, there was a certain disconnect, and like I was saying, I really can't put my finger onto that. But in terms of the overall action element, I thought this movie, was expertly paced in certain regards. I mean, there's this build-up at the beginning of the movie that kind of culminates, and then right when you think you've got things figured out, it kind of takes the viewer on a turn that's not exactly expected. And even the main character of this film seems kind of surprised by the stuff that he's witnessing. It's surprising in a lot of ways, but there were certain elements to the film that I thought were kind of lacking. And I wasn't crazy necessarily about the ending of the movie, but that's kind of a preference thing, So for me, I felt like this movie should have ended slightly different. What about you, Ben?
So the way I feel about the movie is it hit the notes that I wanted it to, for the most part. I agree that it's it's a little long-winded. But I'd also say that towards the end, there's some awesomely choreographed scenes that kind of like, you're not mad that it's long, at least for me. I'm like, you know what, that was pretty badass, that was pretty awesome.
It's worth the wait.
Right. This guy that has a connection to this girl, but their connection almost doesn't make sense. I mean, they don't really know each other. And at the end of the day, this whole movie revolves around him caring about this girl. In a Korean action thriller, that's what you want. That's the main thing I feel like you look for. The narrative and the emotional aspects weren't off-putting. I don't think they were perfect, but they were good enough in my opinion.
Right.
I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a good crime drama with action, a lot of kung fu, different things going on there. And I believe the lighting, the cinematography really carried this film a lot. There's a lot of harsh lighting, there's a lot of suggestive lighting, there's a lot of claustrophobic camera angles, there's a lot of hard camera angles, and it really adds to the film. Over top of all just everything that's going on, the narrative, they'll do a lot of crazy camera shots. But I liked it on that aspect. As for the story and the narrative going along with it, it wasn't bad. It was pretty, I won't even say a basic action movie, but it's, you know, action guy has reason to kick ass, whatever it may be.
Yeah. You know, I was telling Ben actually halfway through the movie, like at its core, it's an action film. You know, at its heart, I was picking up, and he was mentioning John Wick, but like I was picking up notes of like Death Wish, and then we were talking about Old Boy. You know, the whole revenge-driven narrative is the central focus of the story.
I wanted to note the fact by calling it just an action film because there is a multifaceted story that comes with this.
Right.
And even as Tom was saying with how it gets a little too deep, like it can be a little slightly confusing with all the different aspects that are going on, but it still can be followed.
You know, Ben's been showing us a lot of South Korean movies on my channel. Not that it's a bad thing. You know, on Neon Trash we like to cover a wide variety of films from all over the world. So it's not like, you know, I'm jaded in those respects. But for me, I feel like maybe there's better South Korean action films. I don't know. You know, but at the end of the day, I got to give this a star count. And for me, I think The Man from Nowhere is a 7 out of 10. Ben.
If I had to give it a star count, honestly, I was kind of leaning in the same range. I was thinking like a strong 7, maybe to a light 8, depending on your preference. But I mean, some of the fight scenes are just totally awesome. You know, as Dale said, the cinematography also awesome. So I feel like where maybe this story could get confusing or where like it's a little emotionally trying too hard or something. At its core, if you like an action film, if you like whether it's things like Old Boy, American action films, this movie's actually pretty approachable for anyone.
Absolutely.
And I think that's that's its strong suit, that you can kind of come from any background and enjoy this action film. So I'd give it strong 7, maybe